Now, it's been reported recently that Japan is experiencing, sadly, a bit of a decline when it comes to two of its key traditional food groups. Now, the first is bento boxes. Now, these are the very lovely ornate boxes you see with rice, vegetables, different ingredients, normally meat in there. And, they're very traditional and, a very traditional food type of Japan. But it's been reported that, unfortunately, 22 bento shops have filed for bankruptcy. That's from just January up to May of this year. Now, why is this happening? Well, apparently work from home has seen a little bit of a decline as office workers are in the office less. They maybe don't need to go into a bento shop to buy bento box for convenience. There's, of course, the rice price. There's a shortage of rice in Japan this year due to poor weather last year. That means rice is harder to get hold of and it's now more expensive, which means the knock-on is that it's going to cost the shop more to produce, and they either have to eat that in terms of lower profits or pass on the cost to those buying the bento boxes, which is going to put customers off potentially and lower sales. Another potential factor, just anecdotally, could possibly be tourism. Now, Japan is experiencing record tourism, which is great for the country, but that now means that's a much bigger market share in terms of those going out to restaurants and buying foods. And tourists, perhaps they want to go out to restaurants to try the food in Japan, but bento boxes, perhaps maybe they're a little bit unwieldy if you're wanting to eat on the go. You have to walk around carrying this big box or eat them on like a park bench, or fit them in a bag, for example, if you don't want to eat immediately, or take them back to like an Airbnb or like a small hotel or even a capsule hotel where there might not be a table or anything to eat them on. So maybe they're less practical for tourists. They're maybe getting less into the tourist market than other comparable foods. And also, my suspicion is that there's maybe a little bit of a divide between those bento boxes in train stations and general bento shops, much like W.H. Smith's in the UK, because from my anecdotal experience, whenever you go on a train in a busy station like Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, they have these underground retail shops that sell bento boxes, and they always seem very busy, lots of tourists buying those, just to take them on a long train journey, because then it's very convenient. It's like a nice thing to do when you're sat on the train. You can like open the bento box and you can buy it just before you go. So just anecdotally, I've not looked at the data on this, the sales there seem to be quite good just based on foot traffic that I've seen. But perhaps maybe bento shops not located within train stations aren't getting that same tourist footfall, and they're losing out to people just buying more things that are maybe a little bit more convenient, like say a sando or rice balls, or people just going more to eat in restaurants to get that full experience rather than buying a traditional bento box. Now, similarly, Japanese curry shops are also experiencing a bit of a decline, it seems. It's been reported that 13 shops have closed in the year ending March. So that's unfortunate, and it seems to be a similar thing, just general trends, and also the fact that Japan is more scarce, it's more expensive. That's a key component. You'll get Japanese rice and curry together in this traditional dish. So they're suffering really the same thing, which is they're having the dilemma of either we eat the extra cost of the rice, or we have to pass that on to customers, which then puts them off. So it seems that, unfortunately, that these two famous Japanese dishes, very traditional, very well known, due to various factors and this recent trend in rice prices going up, are now suffering and seeing shop closures, which is very unfortunate. Perhaps if the government's effective in dealing with the rice price, maybe that trend will be reversed or the decline will be slowed. But we'll just have to wait and see if this is going to be a long-going trend as tastes in Japan change, or if this is just a temporary blip and that these industries may come back over time.